Welcome to the Astronaut Arcade Podcast, where your space host, Andromeda, Cowboy, Ranger, and Native Raider share stories, tips, and the latest information on anything video game related. Today, we have a special guest here to help us talk about Destiny 2. Now, without further ado, let's begin the countdown to launch.
Woo!
Howdy, Cowboy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
We have had our, I want to say, fourth Christmas today. Yeah, fourth Christmas. So
I didn't go. If my family is listening to this, I apologize. I was not driving in that shit show of a thunderstorm we had earlier and all the tornadoes. It was ridiculous. Like I couldn't see the yard from my front porch.
Yeah, at that point, it's just pack it up and going back inside.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going nowhere. Not gonna happen. Sorry. I love
Yeah,
y'all, but I'm not gonna die driving 30 minutes in a storm.
I don't remember which day it was, but a couple of days ago, I almost did the same thing, but for work. Because I walked out my front door and I couldn't see the end of the street due to the fog. And I was like, huh, do I really, really need that paycheck? I decided I did, and so I went to work. Well,
See, yeah, now work is different. Work,
yeah.
I've drove to work in some horrible conditions. I mean, I've worked in some horrible conditions. There was one time when I was working offshore, we were literally standing on a barge in the middle of a ship channel, and a water spout formed like 10, like not 10 feet, but like 100 feet away from us and started coming straight at us. And it came over the barge. We're all just sitting here holding on to the tent for dear life while this water spout's trying to pull us into the air. It was wild.
Yeah, I'm sure that when it dropped 100 feet away, it probably felt like it was 10 feet away. And then it got closer and it was really 10 feet away and you got really scared.
It was fun. I was like, wee! My boss was like, shut up.
Somebody always has to try to make everybody laugh, and that person is Cowboy.
That is Cowboy. That's my job. I am the comedic relief of the Astronaut Arcade. I'm pretty much useless for everything else, but
That's
when
not
the
case.
When it comes to comedy, I got you.
Don't listen to him, guys. He does a lot. But we do have our guest, HD Technical, certified HD Technical. He's over there, certified. What's going on, HD?
Oh, another day in paradise. Just enjoying this week. It's, as everyone knows, chaotic. It's been a big week for everyone here. Christmas, obviously. But it's been a good week. Can't complain. Could have been worse. You know, I get to spend time with my family, my kids, so that's very nice to do. Busy week though. Today's my new work week, and I felt like it's a break day for me from the past 4 days of Christmas and Christmas Eve hosting and 2 days of presents. And oh yeah, y'all know how it is. Exhausting it can be trying to deal with the aftermath of Christmas. But kids are happy, so we're good. And the house is finally starting to get normal-ish again. I'm actually able to vacuum floors again. It's great. There's actually not so many boxes of toys everywhere no more.
Yeah. You have 4, and your youngest is 1 or almost 1?
No, my youngest is 3. My oldest is 7. So I got
There's no
7,
way.
6.
There is no way I met you 2 years ago. Ain't anything.
I got 7, 6, 5, and a 3-year-old.
I swear when I met you, you had a 1-year-old.
I don't think
When
so.
you met
I don't
me,
know.
I had a 1-year-old.
That might be what
Maybe it's what. Yeah, maybe.
Hang on, guys. I think I left my brain in my other pants. I'm gonna go see if I can go find it.
No, he can't get me off his mind, so everyone's me.
Well, I mean, Cowboy is a very empowering name and empowering presence that kind of overrides everything else.
I'm just hard to forget.
Hence, Cowboy, voice of God.
Yeah.
He is the voice of God, who doesn't have a camera on.
I don't know. I think it's because my voice can keep dropping lower and lower. And I can get down and just, make you feel the presence of the Almighty.
Oh, yes. If I get closer, it sounds better. That work?
Actually, I have to get further away, or else it'll sound gravelly. If I
Ranger
on.
taught me the trick. I don't know if it's working. Ranger one told me about if you get closer to the mic, it sounds better. I don't know if it
I
really
do.
works or not,
I can't clear my
but
throat
It's
if I get
only if
close
you
and
talk
drop my voice.
quietly.
Yeah, you gotta talk
oh,
quietly.
so
If
if
I
you
get
talk
close
very
and drop
quietly
my
like
voice.
this, it works.
No, you
Yeah.
gotta have a deep voice.
Oh, my voice sucks anyway, so let's get on the show then.
Yeah, let's just move on from this.
Well,
I
I do have a
can't clear my
question.
throat enough to go lower.
I do have a question real quick because we're all dads here, sort of. I'm
Yeah.
not. You guys are dads. I'm kind of a
Not sort
bonus.
of real.
You're a
Oh no,
dad, damn
you're
it.
a dad. Get out of here. Yeah, shut up for that stuff. You're a dad.
Shut your
Okay.
damn beautiful
So
mouth.
show of hands. Well,
I can't raise my hand.
yeah, I thought about that just now. Okay. Who else got socks and underwear for Christmas? And that's like the highlight of your Christmas and like you're super excited about it.
I wish I got socks for Christmas. I didn't.
Listen, my wife always yells, and my socks are the story. This is a one time a year to throw away all my socks without me knowing and buy new socks and underwear without me realizing and replacing them. But somehow my feet eat socks somehow. I don't know how it happened, but my feet like devour socks. It's the craziest thing ever.
I think it's just the type of job you do. Do you have steel toes? Do you wear steel toes to work?
I do. I do.
So
I do
Yeah.
initial maintenance, so I'm on
Yeah.
heavy equipment, all that stuff. So
I think steel toes eat through socks a lot faster than anything else. I don't know why.
very well could. That's
You
weird.
and
I
else
don't know.
kill socks.
What?
Sweat.
Dress shoes.
Yeah.
Do they
Dress
really?
shoes
Yeah, they do.
kill socks.
I don't wear dress shoes very often because I'm not really fancy like that. So
I wear
I
dress
couldn't
shoes
tell you
all the
no.
time.
Like
I've got a set from the military, but I've worn them like maybe 6 times since I got out back in 2015.
yeah. Like I think dress shoes, boots, and steel toe shoes, they eat through socks like nobody's business.
Well, I walk very forward of my feet, like in the ball of my feet when I walk.
Yeah.
So like my shoes always wear out there. That's probably not helping either. Because I always wear the ball of my feet always.
Yeah. Well, what's new in video games for you guys this week?
So Cowboy gave in and decided to play Apex.
Ooh.
So Hurdle last night was actually teaching me how to play Apex, and
God, I love that
yeah,
man.
I do too. He's just amazing. Excuse me. You know, they call me the voice of God, but that man has a better voice than even I.
We need to have him on the show.
We do. Oh,
Not
you
to
know what?
not to discount that HD is here. We are happy to have HD here, but Hurdle
I
is like
did. I did invite him on the show, and then I forgot to set it up.
oh.
He said
Really?
he would come on. So we'll have to schedule that for a couple weeks from now because he did say he would come on the show.
Wow.
But
I love you, Hurdle. I'm sorry.
That's nice. We see where loyalties really lie.
I have been busy, okay? I have been busy. We have so much stuff coming out in the next few days that I have been doing so much that I've forgotten everything.
Oh yeah, you can talk more about that with the housekeeping. I forgot to put that on there. That was
I'm
the
kinda
one
excited, actually.
I knew I was forgetting something and I didn't remember what it was. I don't know why I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm sitting here thinking, what all do we have coming up? Like I've got these two things, but I can't. There's something I'm missing. I forgot what it was.
It's a
Cowboy's
pretty big
got it.
thing.
Cowboy knows. He's got it.
Yeah, I got it. I think if I can remember what we're talking about.
All
Listen,
the other stuff
you
that we
do
have coming out in January.
What?
you're doing a great job with all your stuff. I'm just gonna put it out there. You're doing a great job with all these stuff
Yep.
you're doing.
He really
I
is.
appreciate it. You know, y'all don't all get to see the things I'm doing like right away. You know, it's funny because me and Ranger talked about this recently. Like the things I do, y'all don't really get to see. I'm more of the background guy.
Mhm.
I set myself into that role when we started this because, you know, even though I do have a bubbly and wonderful personality, I pretend that I don't.
Mhm.
And so I just put myself off to the back. And, you know, with a lot of this stuff, like setting up the Discord stuff, adding stuff, the private channels that y'all can't see yet, the all the other things I've been working on in the back that y'all don't see until we release it. You know, it adds up. Plus, you know, the different. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Mhm.
HD, is there anything new in gaming for you, or is it same old, same old?
Honestly, so we're talking about the past week, nothing because I worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday. When I try not to play on Saturday, Sunday, Mondays anymore. That's my 3 days of getting on content creation and taking a night. I mean, I work 12-hour shifts, so it's like my days of I don't really do anything else. And then I got a chest cold Monday, so I couldn't really talk. So I didn't. And Christmas happened, so I didn't play any games at all this week. But like an hour and a half last night streaming. So this past week, no, I've been just between the holidays and my chest cold. I didn't play any games the past week. Other than that, it's just been normal routine, Destiny, my weekly raids, community stuff, XYZ
All right.
going.
I don't think there's anything new for me. No, I can't think of anything.
I mean, this is a rough week for everyone. It's just a very busy and fulfilling week.
Well, it's for me. It's like it's not anything new. Is my That's why I'm kind of like I'm not sure because there have been updates to games and things coming out that I've been playing or looking at playing, and like I already own the game. So it's like it's not a new game. It's just new content for the game. So I wouldn't necessarily
Okay.
classify that as like a new game. You know.
But is it depending on the DLC or content increase? Maybe if it's a radical content drop.
I don't know. I think that Shadow of Erdtree is not a game of the year. I don't think it should have been in that vote. Sue me. That's my thoughts. That's my feelings. I think it is a
Which you are
BS.
not entitled to.
Speaking of Cowboy, did you ever actually play that
What?
Shadow of Erdtree?
I did not, man. Honestly, I've been so caught up with all the stuff we're doing and this past 2 weeks being on 4 different podcasts and the holidays and stuff. It's just been a busy, past few months for me.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from Marvel Rivals, I haven't really played much. If you haven't noticed, I haven't streamed either.
Yeah,
So it's been interesting.
yeah, I had noticed, but I also know how busy you are. Just I want to hype Cowboy up here for a second, everybody. So one thing that has been keeping him busy that most of you guys don't know about and would never actually know about unless it's spoken here on the podcast. Cowboy has been going from stream to stream, getting in touch with different streamers and their communities. He has been joining communities left and right, trying to get the Astronaut Arcade out there, and also trying to create more relations for us as a team to work with other people. And he's been doing that nonstop on top of the other things that we're about to talk about that he's been doing behind the scenes. So like, I've had a couple people tell me before, like, I do a lot and I do, with the planning and the editing, and like people have said that I do a lot, but like what you guys don't see is that that's kind of all I do. I help with producing the show, and then Cowboy does everything else behind the scenes. So if you guys see something that you're just like, that's amazing, that's awesome, hype Cowboy up because he deserves it.
Oh
Woohoo!
shoot.
Go Cowboy.
I'm so flattered.
Good.
It's fun, and I do it for y'all, the listeners, because you know it it made me feel great to come on this show. I spent so much time in my life running communities and creating gaming events for people, and that was great, but it never fulfilled me the way that coming on this show and doing these things does. And bringing joy to people that listen. We've gotten a lot of great feedback lately, and we've gotten a lot of these streamers that I've been talking to, coming in, watching our show, listening to our show, and they've had nothing but positive things to say, and it's been great. I love it. I love doing this. I love y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, speaking of events, we can take that into our housekeeping because
Yeah.
we have lots of stuff coming up, guys. So, Cowboy, this is all mostly you. If you would like to just take away with the housekeeping, it's all stuff. This is all stuff Cowboy's been working on. Just so you guys know, and it's a lot. So pay attention.
Okay. So let me see if I can remember everything. So first off, we have our website. By the time this episode is out, Our merch and website will be out. They drop January 1st. We will be having a 10% off discount on every item for the first 2 weeks that we are out there. I have been working tirelessly designing this website, these items, everything. God, I cannot clear my throat. I apologize. Doing all this, and we have some really nice merch. Mr. Beef was the first one to receive our merch as a game show contestant for the Cowboy Christmas Extravaganza. We posted a picture in the Discord. By the time you're hearing this, the the giveaway will be over with, so the controller will have already been rewarded to somebody. So I won't say go, try to get more tickets because it won't make a difference. But I do have more plans for more giveaways in the future. Um, Sometimes they'll be as small as merch, depending on how things go. We might even have a bigger giveaway at our 1 year mark. So we'll see how that goes, but besides from that, I am going to be doing some refreshing of the Discord server. I was supposed to do it this past weekend, but life got in the way. But I am going to be getting to that, adding some new emojis to the channels, cleaning up the channels, making the server just look a little better, a little more organized, look like the professionals that we are. Yeah. So besides that, we are going to be doing the this episode will come out the 6th, right? Yeah. So there's no point in saying this, but we are doing the live episode January 4th. Y'all will be too late for that. Yeah, you were in that conversation. The January 4th episode we're doing live because we're doing the drawing for the controller.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I remember now. I did not remember.
Oh, now I remember.
So, yeah. What else was there? I know there was something else.
Tournament.
Oh, yes. So through my server, my gaming server, Dizzy Gaming, we are going to be doing a multi-community tournament. It's going to be double elimination. We already have 12 different gaming communities committed to this tournament. And that's pretty awesome. I did not think we were going to have that many people. I thought we were going to have like 5 or 6. But no, we've already completed a whole bracket and are starting another one. And it's crazy. And we have 4 more that, are trying to see if they can join. But Astronaut Arcade is also one of those teams if Mr. Ranger here can get a team together. So, if you are interested, it is free to play. It is not going to be like a sweat lobby kind of we're here to win $1 million kind of BS. We're here to have fun, get to know different community members, get to know different people, and just make more friends. Kind of show y'all a little bit about what I do behind the scenes, and get to talk to these different community people that you may have never heard of, never met. We even have 2 all girl servers that are coming to join and on the fun. It was interesting talking to them about that. They're like, well, we usually do all girl stuff, and but we got to talking to them about it, and I explained it to them, and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, so we're gonna come in and do it. So I think that's pretty cool. And then
Speaking of tournament, no, you're good. Speaking of tournament, HD, I'm assuming you don't have a team yet, and you're not signed up. Would you care to? Would you care to come on the?
I mean, he's in
AAPP?
that list of teams, but
So it's my issue is the time and date I can't participate due to family obligations. I know really it's hard for me to do anything during the daytime, like before 9 or 10 o'clock at night, because my family comes first. That's my prioritization on stuff.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
So, that's why I haven't talked about, because I just don't have the time to commit to that tournament like that. I wish I could, but
That's fair enough. Well, Anyways, I was just trying to recruit another member. I failed.
No, please include me. I like it. Just life comes first, sadly.
Yeah, no, I
Oh
got it.
yeah, I mean for sure. You know, if it came to my daughter, it would come first too. So I can't fault you for that. But you were one of the four that I wasn't quite sure about, so
Mhm.
that worked out.
Yeah.
So,
We do have a tournament team channel for anybody who wants to sign up and participate.
yes, do have a tournament team channel. Go sign up. Come over. When y'all got your team together, join the Dizzy Gaming server. We will have a separate lobby for each team, so y'all will be able to stay in your your comms. It's looking like Fudd is going to be co-hosting with me. Not
Nice.
too sure yet. We're still ironing that out, but he did say unless something comes up, he's down for that. So that's good. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about today, and I am drawing such a blank. If it comes to me, it comes to me. Oh, there is a new member of our Discord, Mr. Drake, the the Drake Take or Mr. Drake Take. Him and his friend are going to be starting a podcast, and January 9th, I think, is what he said the first day was. I will make sure and I'll put it in the description. But we're gonna be, I want y'all to go support them. Give them a go. They're really nice guys. I enjoyed talking to them a few weeks ago, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they build. Um, It'll definitely be a lot of fun. So go show them some love when they get started. And yeah,
Speaking of new members, we actually have a slew of them this week.
yeah,
We've got Just Glad to Be Here. I believe she came in 2 days ago. Just Glad to Be Here, Prax, and Worm Guy.
and the
So
Drake Take.
and Drake Take. Thank you guys for coming to join our small little family, and we're hoping to continue to see it grow.
Yeah, Worm Guy was another one of Pee Pee Pipes. So
Yep.
she got another ticket.
Yep.
And he did the follow, I think, is what she said. He hasn't posted it yet, I don't think. But I think she told me he did follow. But I'll wait to see it. It ain't counting unless I see it. So, yeah. Thank you all for joining. We really appreciate it.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was just looking for that picture. It is not currently in there.
Oh no.
What picture? Yeah, no, it's not in there.
I will. While I'm here, I will say it is awesome seeing y'all going where you have been so far. But I know I've been here since the beginning. I think y'all have grown drastically in a short time. Y'all started this,
Yeah, the past 2 months, I mean, almost 40 members.
so I mean I think that's a beautiful thing on its own that y'all have been able to achieve. So clap off to that one.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
personally,
thank
I
you.
can't wait for Andrew to come back and be like, "Look at all the shinies."
So
I
much
know.
going on now.
I have been keeping her up to date a little bit. When we do get to talk, she does miss all y'all. So,
Yeah,
we can't wait for her to be back, obviously.
it's she's been having a
We
rough
miss
year.
you.
Um, hopefully next year, she'll be good to come back at some point. But we have not.
Until then,
Yeah, until then, we still miss and love her very very much, and cannot wait
and,
to come back and show all of the shinies off to her.
and we'll hold down the fort. I promise I won't ruin the show completely. I'll make it a little awkward sometimes, but I won't ruin it.
It's only awkward if you make it awkward. Just put it out there.
I mean, you just did, so.
It's a skill of
But
mine.
besides that, I mean, I think that's pretty much it for the house cleaning. I
Yeah.
think we got so much going on over the next few weeks that it's just going to be great for y'all, the listeners. And I know you're going to hear this after a lot of this happens, but it's still going to be so much fun for y'all.
Yeah, we're greatly looking
And give
forward
us
to it.
some feedback afterwards. After this episode comes back, please give us some feedback. Let us know how this year was for you, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of. Um, you know, we're happy to get it. We don't know what we're doing. Especially me. I'm just here. I don't know.
Wait, who did the show notes? Because I didn't do them.
I don't know. They just appeared. I
Magic.
think I think HD Tech did them.
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I helped y'all out. I thought I'd give y'all a hand, and I went and pre-did them without you knowing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I can't read his handwriting.
Oh, my handwriting's horrible. It's like doctor handwriting, pretty much.
Well, you are in the tech field,
It's just
vehicle tech field. But
technically, yes, I
That's
am.
why. That's why there's smudge all over it.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Grease stains. Okay.
Little-
Okay.
little
I got
extra
Listen,
grease spots.
you can't get rid of it. I don't care what anyone says. You can't wash it off. It never goes away.
Dude, I have this
It-
image now of in my head of your keyboard. All of the
Yeah.
letters have
Dirty.
fingerprints like of oil on them.
Oh, Jesus.
Specifically the
Well,
four
Mike,
W, A, S, and D.
surprisingly, I keep my keyboard clean, surprisingly. Because once you let that grease hit something, it ain't coming off.
Uh,
You can take Gojo, grab a thing of sand and make it grittier, and it'll still be there.
yeah. Well, guest interview?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, I don't know why we're acting like we don't do this every week.
It's because we don't do it
So-
at this time every week.
Right. It is late.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's all HD Tech's fault.
It is.
You know, but it's okay. What the fuck was that?
What is that? A squeal, squeeze, cat? I
My
don't know.
lungs, my lungs tried to come out through my butt and found out that was not an exit, so they decided to come back out my mouth.
Okay. It sounded like one of the screaming goats from Thor Love and Thunder.
That was
Marvel
that was
Rivals.
icebreaker. Oh,
Oh god.
Jesus.
So, HD Tech, who the hell are you and why are you here?
I'm here because I got asked to be on a show to talk about Destiny 2. My name is HG Tech. HG Tech includes my Twitch name because someone stole HG Tech before I can take it. I'm just your average 32-year-old, dad gamer and work full time. Actually, I look at my year and see what it was. No one special,
It's
just
still
I'm a
2024.
grease.
You're good.
It is. Here about 3 days, I'm gonna be twisted at my mind when we hit 2025. Probably 2 months before I write the correct year down again.
I hate that.
But just obviously early in the show, I have my family man. I got my 4 kids. I work full time. I play Destiny. I try to stream when I can. Nothing special. As a normal old guy who likes to play video games, have fun with people.
All right, that
Have
was
a good
2.
time.
I don't want to hear it again. That was 2. You said I'm not very special twice.
I
You're a
repeat lot of
liar.
things.
You're a liar. You are very special. I don't want to hear it again.
No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, my brain does this whole weird contraption of I'll say things like 20 times in a row, so I might repeat myself sometimes. That happens.
It's okay. But just don't put yourself down on our show. That's our job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a very special Destiny 2 streamer here, presenting my life to y'all.
Thank you.
There you go. That works.
Is that better?
No.
What what got you into gaming, bud?
I've done gaming as long as I can remember. Really, I mean, I remember growing up on the Super Nintendo that had before 64 had the cartridges. It was a gray box. You had a
Mhm.
cartridge you slid in. I remember as a kid having a little shed in the backyard, a little bitty tube TV, and having a screwdriver, and that's what I remember playing as a kid. And I played the 64, and I just played video games as long as I can remember. Really, just I guess as a kid, I said I want to do it, and it's stuck with me as a hobby I've always done. I gamed from as long as I can remember. All the way till high school. When I joined the military, I quit for like 3-4 years. I joined the military. And then I did not get back heavy into it until probably a few years ago. So I had like a few-year break from the military to start my family. But I've always done this. It's always been a thing I've always enjoyed doing is playing video games. Community, the escape of like just another world to go into and just escape. It's a de-stressor out. Or
Cool.
Nice. Well, what's your favorite game?
it
We don't
is
know.
okay. So it is currently Destiny 2 right now, and it's not. I don't like other games. When I play a game, like I don't play a lot of different games. I tend to have like one game I play really hard. So, like before this, it was like 10 years of World of Warcraft for the longest time, and I know I dedicate all my time to that. And I'm a very dedicated player to one game. I don't multiverse across different platforms. That's just how I've always been. I've find one thing I stick to, and I'd spend my whole time in that one game.
I don't know if I could do that. I think I would go crazy.
But see, I feel like if it's like I've bought No Man's Sky, I got like 10 hours in it, but my mind always goes back to my primary game. I have a
Yeah.
hard like Powell. I play Powell for a little bit. My brain went back to my primary game, and I don't know if being a content creator doesn't makes it even worse now than it used to be. But
Yeah, I've noticed that with
I'm
I've noticed that with some people when you get into content creation, like you end up if you don't like stream a different game every single time you stream, you cubbyhole yourself into this one game. And especially with you, you've been making strides this year, like towards the end of the year here, to really kind of make it as a content creator and as a streamer. And you have your own Discord and all this other stuff. And people, when you get on, expect you to be playing Destiny 2. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I want to play this other game today. Well, now we're not going to watch you.
Yeah, well, and it's not even that. Like, I legitimately do enjoy Destiny. It's not like I'm forced to do it. I'm just a weird gamer. I don't play provided games. My attention span is very short. My memory is very short anymore. I just have to lock into one thing.
Okay, I feel that. Well, this is my favorite question.
Origin.
I've had a lot of good feedback on this question, and I think a lot of people like this question. What is your least favorite game that you will still play? So, like, this is a game you pick up to play it, and you sit there, you sit down, you turn it on, and you're like, I should probably go touch grass instead of playing this game. But you will play it.
So I've thought about this a lot. Honestly, I've spent hours contempting this question, and my answer is probably going to throw you off hysterically. So it, for me, is gotta be Pokemon. Now, hear me out though. Okay, I'm not saying Pokemon's trash, right? So for me, it's any of the newer Pokemon games, and my reasoning, and I'm gonna get to Cowboy Freak out over there. I love Pokemon. I grew up, me and I think we're all the same age here. We grew up in Pokemon. I like, original ones, Silver and Gold edition, Gen 3. After that, I kind of fell off of it, and I love the Pokemon. I love the line of those games. I want to get into the newer games that have the better graphics and more quality of life, but I don't like new generations either. So it's a love-hate relationship. Like, I want to really sit down, like, I own all the games. I've bought I think I bought Shield, Blind Pearl, and what's the new, not the Arceus, what's the other newest generation they just came out with?
Scarlet Violet?
Yes, I own them. I want to get into them. I just like the OG versions. And that's where my love-hate relationship is in it. I don't hate the game, but I like the original ones. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't like newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Games.
No.
Or if I can play the original, the GX, and maybe it might go to Zexal maybe. After that, I have no interest in playing any of the new rules, any of the new stuff they do.
No, GX lost me. I was good with Yu-Gi-Oh until GX, and I was like, nah, It was Dice Monster, or was it Dice Monsters? Yu-Gi-Oh! Dice Monsters.
That was still in the first one. Or are you talking about
the first series?
Yeah, that was the end of the first series, though.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, it was when they finally got to
Okay.
Pegasus' island, and Pegasus basically said, you have to fight my commanders before you fight me.
Yeah.
And one of the commanders had Dice Monsters as his game of choice.
The gate thing you're talking about, the two Paradox brothers, right?
I
No,
don't think so.
no, that was first season.
Oh,
So
it doesn't matter. I don't know.
So the Dice Monsters was the very end of the
Yeah.
show, of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, when they finally got to Pegasus's castle, and they had to fight his commanders before they could take on Pegasus.
No.
Duke had
That
Dice
was-
Monsters after they came back from the island. Duke challenged Yugi at the game of duels, whatever, and he challenged him to play Dice Monsters to get the title from him.
Yeah,
They came back from the island.
So the whole first season was the Pegasus, or the first two seasons were the Pegasus Island, and then it went to the God cards.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. Yeah.
And then after that, it was Dice Monsters.
But I like the principle is I like the original version of these games. If we can go back and play like the OG version. So like Pokemon, I love the franchise, the original games, I want to love the new games. I want to love them, but I'll play them, but I just don't have that connection with them. So it's like a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I've played the newer games. Cowboy has not, and as far as I'm aware, refuses to.
With the new Pokemon games?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I stopped playing after Emerald.
Yeah,
I refused.
that's why for me it's a love-hate. Like we I have games I hate more, but I won't play them. If I hate them, I'm not going to play them. So
Yeah.
that's a game that I will still play, but it's least liked, and I'm not the best experience playing it.
It's funny because I can see you like picking it up, going to play Scarlet, and going, you know what?
This sucks.
I could probably go feed my chickens instead and have a better time doing that. I'm gonna go feed my chickens.
That's usually what happens. That's legitimately usually what happens. Usually, I just can't. I try. Like Legend of Arceus. I was at the airport. I brought my Switch with me. I was I was traveling to. I launched it. I tried to play for 5 minutes in the airport and just didn't. It didn't stick.
Yeah. Well, so obviously you do stream. We've mentioned it a few times at this point. How long have you been streaming, and what got you started?
It was, I think, April 5th, sometime in April this year, actually. So it's only been 8 months or so that I've been streaming. And really, it's got to be the guys with the Blueberry Lounge. Native Raider and Sway Spooks really pushed me to really push into thing I've always wanted to do for years, but I felt like it was higher than what I could achieve with myself. I didn't feel like I was good enough, like just talking or playing games or anything like that, to be able to do it decently. And being part of Blueberry Lounge, watching Sway Spooks and Native Raider doing all the time. Eventually, I was just like, one day, I want to try for myself. So I just started doing it, and I enjoyed the connections of, playing a game and people can chat with you. Or Cowboy scene, I've been doing more stuff in my streams and people can interact with me more with like soundboards and song requests and stuff like that. And it's kind of neat seeing the interaction while streaming. And so it really it's the other communities that gave me the inspiration to go through what I want to do and do it.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember. So I think Cowboy, you probably started watching HD more recently, right? Like in the last month or two.
Yeah, I've watched HD just about every time he's on. Show him some love.
So I was one of his like only viewers for a while. Like I would pop in every single episode right after he started, and it was crazy because I started getting busy with life, and then just kept swiping away the notification because I was like, I want to, but I can't right now, you know. And then the other, like about I don't know what 3 weeks ago, I was sitting down on the couch and I saw you go live, and I was like, I have the time right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just sit here and watch him do his thing. And I jump in there, and everything was different. Like your whole setup was different. Your uh, notifications and your whole what's it called, Cowboy? Not UI.
What are you talking about?
The setup, the way the screen looks and all that.
Overlay?
Overlays, yeah. All of your overlays were different. You had a completely new theme going on, and it like looked really professional. And I was very impressed. I was like, man, I remember where we started, and I remember him like not fumbling per se, but like I think you and I have talked about it personally before HD, but like you sometimes get a bad stutter when you get nervous or like you're amped up real high. And
Yeah.
like I got onto the stream and you're not stuttering at all. You got clear tone. You're focused on what you're doing and on your chats. All these overlays are going off and you're catching every single one of them. You got your TikTok up on your phone and you're just going and going. And I'm just like, dude, this is like legit now. He's made it. He's getting there.
It's
Yeah.
taking time. Like when you first started watching me, I didn't have a camera. Like that
Yeah.
was an addition. I used to have no camera, no notifications, nothing. I've done a lot of learning, a lot of YouTubing stuff, Googling stuff, and just figuring out, what works, watching other streamers, and finding my own groove and motto. And I feel like I'm to the point now where I'm finally getting that really good groove of what
Yeah.
to do in my streams, giving entertainment to people in my streams, just having a good time. Just I don't know if you've been part of the new stuff, but I added soundboards now, text to speech now, song requests now functions, and all this other stuff. Probably 2 weeks ago, Cowboy, I did that last week, 2 weeks ago maybe. That's recent. I started doing that stuff.
Probably.
Yeah. I wasn't. I
So
haven't
it's
seen any of that stuff.
that's newer. That's newer. And I said, as you know, I do TikTok also, and a
Mhm.
lot of the Twitch information actually came from because TikTok. You have Tickfinity that does all that for you. And I was like, well, are there options for doing this on the Twitch side? That's why I'm doing my research. I figured that there are options for doing this stuff on the Twitch side too. So I've been incorporating some of my stuff I've learned on TikTok and Twitch now.
Did Ranger fall asleep?
I think so. Did he pull me?
No, I just.
Oh, he's making fun of HD.
Yeah, he's making fun of me.
I love it. HD always falls asleep in his streams. It is hilarious.
Always,
No,
sometimes.
I
Literally like 80%.
I was trying not to
Break
just
character.
no, I was trying not to keep going and cut you out and keep you from being able to speak. So I was giving you the opportunity to make the next segue, and it was figured I'd ask my girlfriend to make me a drink while I was doing that, and
I only
then
saw him because I only have the little square up. I don't have the whole page up. So I
oh,
just see him talking and then he stops and he's like tapping on the screen and I'm like, what is he doing?
And this Ranger looking down, just like the tech move.
yeah, no, I wasn't asleep. I was just trying to silently include Cowboy without saying Cowboy. Say something.
You can be included. It's okay.
No, I mean I was just sitting here listening to HD ramble on because you know what
Did you forget you were on a podcast again?
you can't expect me to be the one to end the ranting. It doesn't work
Did you forget you were on a podcast again?
sometimes. So
In his defense, I'm a ranter. I will say that I'm a ranter.
in my defense, he
100%.
was talking, so I'm like, okay.
Fair. I yeah, fair. Whatever. Moving on.
On to the next thing.
Which is our main topic. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Main topic.
Boo, boo.
Cowboy.
Woo!
What is our main topic? Because I don't know what it is.
Maybe we should talk about some Destiny 2.
That sounds good. I think I'm okay with that.
Is this that Bungie game that I always hear about? Is that what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I've never played it.
that's right.
I've heard really crappy things though.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. HD Tech, come on down.
Step, click.
All right. Well, for our first question of the day, how would you describe the game as an overview?
And this is where I feel like Destiny has its own entity in the universe of gaming. Like, obviously, it's a shooter, but it's also MMO. So you have your, it has your MMO open world that you have patrol zones, or you have different maps you can go to, and you can interact with other people. You have a story mode behind it. So you have campaigns, you have seasons, you have missions. If you want, there's lore involved. So if you want to get in the story and lore and that side of gaming, it has that feature. Has the online community feature, and it's also a shooter all at the same time. So for me, it kicks out World of Warcraft MMO story background fetch a little bit for me, but mixes the aspect of it's not Call of Duty. Obviously, it's not like Call of Duty directly because it's a totally different game, but a shooter aspect plus a story-driven game all in the same time. I don't think any other game and even if you like Destiny, don't like Destiny, no one can argue it has its own place in the world. Like no other game, one for one, does what Destiny does.
I agree.
Like nothing,
Yeah.
you might get more of the shooter side, you might get more of the story side, but nothing balances the way it does, regardless of what the state of the game is. So it has a little bit of everything, and that's I think what makes it so unique, and that's what keeps me involved is just know the game will tickle the itch.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I don't know if we've made the comparison here on this show, but I know I've talked with people, and the only comparison to something similar, like that there's in the way that it creates an itch that nothing else will scratch. The only thing that has come out like that anywhere similar for me is Power World. Like, and hear me out. Like, it's not like a shooter MMO thing, but it's an itch that if I'm wanting to play Power World and I'm not home, but I have my phone or I have a device that has Pokemon on it, I will try and play Pokemon. It just doesn't stick. It's not the thing, right? It's not scratching that itch. But that is the biggest fight right now, right? Pokemon versus Power World.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon just cannot help scratch that itch, and there's nothing out there, from my experience, that can scratch that itch exactly like Power. And I think Destiny is very much so the same thing. You've got your MMORPGs, you've got Warframe, which is a shooter as well, and has all the special space abilities and things like that, but it doesn't have the same feel. Like, it doesn't have that story essence behind it. And like I think you're spot on with that. Like, there's nothing that can scratch the itch just right in that same line of gaming.
Yeah, that's what makes I think it's just unique in the feel, gunplay feel. And it's this unique experience overall. And I said, I feel like it's that game, like, when I played 10, 11 years of World of Warcraft, is that game that once it gets that claw on you, it goes deep when it gets into you. It's not something you just play. If you like it, you're going to love it. You don't just kind of like it, usually, in my experience. People either love it or they don't like it at all no more.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Well, you're an exception, but you're the voice of God. That's
That's
okay.
true.
But
This is
that's,
true. Yes, everyone,
um,
pet my ego.
your ego is very high, but I like it very high, so we'll keep it there.
Yeah.
Um, that's
All right.
as an overall overview. That's what Destiny is. Little everything.
Well, Mr. HD Tech, for your second question, what is the main objective of Destiny 2?
Well, you can say it's multiple. It really depends who you talk to. So, obviously, it's a looter shooter. So, your biggest goal is to get better loot, armor, and better guns. Um, I feel like the point I'm at, my main objective in the game is to have a good community, good people to play with. And, for me, what's held me so long is the community that I have behind me that really keeps me going, people I play with. Obviously the game is good, but doing raids or PvP nights with the GDC people community and BBL community and all that's for me. I feel like the community aspect is the end game ultimately in my eyes. But if you're going to get technical, it's a looter shooter in the game. So you're looter shooter. So you're going out for the best exotic gear, best armor gear, best weapons. You're hunting for good gear. So that's my opinion what we're looking at.
I think it's a really good point. Sometimes games don't have like an end objective. It's just community.
That's for me. It's if it wasn't for the community side, I may have dropped off a while back. But having the community really pushed me and kept me locked in. Just having the same people I play with all the time, and having laughs and uh, having drinks with them, and just having a good time. It's almost like a hangout spot almost for us at this point. Like back in the day, we go to movie theaters. Let's have a Destiny 2 and play some PvP. Let's do a raid.
Yeah.
That's what we do as a community.
So I know this is a long, 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 long answer. So in the best way you can, in a short ish amount of time that's not going to take us 6 hours to sit here, talk about the story. Tell us about the
You
story.
got to say it like a game show host, though, or it's not okay. It's
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me try
you
again.
got to stick to the game show thing we're going with.
All right. Let me try again. Mr. HD Tech, we have another question for you here. Is there a story to this game? And please be brief.
There's a story, and I just said if you want to get technical, we can sit there for all night long. I want to talk about it, but essentially, briefly, you are a guardian. There's a traveler, which is this white ethnic god machine that's saving humanity from the darkness elements. You're brought back as a ghost who's your companion back to life, and you're a guardian. You get your powers, you revive from the light, which is a traveler, via the ghost who's your companion. And the whole 10 years it was out. I guess 10, 8, whatever many years from since D2 first launched in D1. You are going through campaigns and you're trying to find out what the source of the darkness is, because there's a light and dark side. And we end up finding out it is from the witness. And we with the past expansion, we just defeated the darkness. And right now, the game, we don't know where the next door is going to go next. But we've been building up over years of doing campaigns and missions to find out where this darkness that's endangering humanity is coming from, how to face it, how to, defeat it. And that's the point we're at now. We defeated the witness, and the game is temporarily, story-wise, in limbo right now until Apollo next year, probably. Right now, they're just doing echoes, which is just like tying up loose ends of the old story. That's a
Uh-huh.
very, 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 very brief overview of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely heard the entire thing. I
Well, and
was just playing. I was here.
like you were saying, it's 10 years of story.
And
Like,
it's hard
and
to
that's
wrap.
yeah, and that's why I was very specific, like short, because if we
Yeah.
realistically, so I don't know if either of you have seen the lore YouTube video.
It's
It gets
ridiculous.
it gets updated every once in a while. I think right now it's sitting at almost 10 hours of lore.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
ridiculous.
it's immersive lore on YouTube. So it's like if you guys want to go look it up, I will go and hunt down that link to that and put it in the show notes. But or I guess the show description. But it's like 10 hours long of somebody reading the lore, but not like word for word from the books, reading it and putting it out as a story. So they've gone through
Well,
and go ahead.
the lore is, and the thing about the lore is in like places like part of lore you have to unlock books in the game, you read the lore from there. Part of lore you gotta read the equipment and guns had the lore. They have grimoire physical books that have part of lore. The lore is not in one place. It's scattered through all the different medias, and
Mhm.
just it's so much to try to compile it like they do in that video. It's
Yeah.
amazing they're able to do that. This podcast, that the whole podcast history is just lore. It's that intensive you can get into.
Yeah. So if we were to sit here and get HD to tell us the story, Cowboy and I would probably, grab pillows and blankets and sit here and do story time while we
I
fall
would go
asleep.
to sleep. I would be out like a light. And I don't even fall asleep till like 4 in the morning. That's how long we'd be here.
It's that's why I tried to very briefly just overview it. I knew the best thing to do.
Yeah. The overview is still, even if we were to give like a brief, like a longer overview, we could still end up sitting here for an hour.
I feel like where we left that's a great place just for now to leave after the show. If
Yeah.
you're interested, go watch the YouTube videos or go to podcasts if you want to know more in depth about it.
Yep. I concur. Cowboy, do you know how to do the notes for the bots?
The notes for what?
Our recording bots?
No.
Okay.
I thought you're a professional podcaster or something like that.
Will you take the next question so I can make a note, please?
Yes, sir. I absolutely can. Mr. HD Tech, for your fourth question, what is the music like?
I would say it's very close to Halo style music. A lot of the same Bungie made Halo, so obviously some history behind on that. But if we're gonna be honest here, I'm not huge into music of a game. Because usually I have voice chats on and music playing, so I'm not huge into listening to musics of a game really. So I don't have much opinion on this question really, honestly. From what I've heard, it's great, but I don't really hone in on how good music is on something I'm playing.
And this is where Cowboy comes in.
Yep, this is more of your field,
This
definitely.
is my field. I don't know why. Um,
You know why.
I love the music for Destiny. I think it is fantastic, even for a shooter. And I've said this before, shooters don't usually have good music. It's usually just a bland, background noise that you have. This game has phenomenal music. I am absolutely impressed, especially when you're doing the story missions. Um, Not to go into any spoilers on it, and I don't really know the names of everything yet. I've only played it a couple times. But there is a story you're doing, one of the new light stories where you go to this new world and the music changes and the music sounds explorative and bewildered, and it really draws you into that, oh my god, you're in a new world. And it was beautiful. I actually talked about this on one of my streams when I was playing the game with Mr. Raz, and it's just phenomenal. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's great, and I can't sing its praises any more than that.
Yeah, I think one of the big defining factors for this shooter genre when it comes to music, most of the time it's background. It's kind of just noise, right? To fill the
Yeah, it's just
space.
there.
With Destiny, it goes beyond immersive. Like it's not just immersing you in this place, in this time that you're doing this activity. It goes beyond that and it really draws you in, which to me, normally think like music that has to draw me in has to have words. And 90% of the Destiny music doesn't have any words. Sometimes they have the vocalization over it, and you'll hear, kind of like from Halo, right? You have the vocalization, the echoing chamber of sound, and Destiny has some of that too. But for music to not have words and to pull you in so well, it is by far a masterpiece as far as gaming music goes.
I feel
Yeah.
like part of that has to do though is not just like earlier we discussed, it's not just a shooter. I think that's where that emphasis comes from. It's
Yeah.
also MMO. I think that's probably where it ties into.
Yeah, it's an MMO with a shooter.
Yes.
But I think a lot of the MMO, even though it's a more immersed MMO, I think it still kind of ties into being more a shooter game because, even like COD has its campaigns. All shooters, except for like Fortnite, usually have some kind of story to them. Um, so I still feel it's classified more as a shooter. I mean, you're the expert on it,
No,
obviously, but
I agree
it,
with
it
that. No, it
still
definitely
feels
is. Yeah, it definitely is.
so. Since I put it in that category, it feels good. If we're talking about music as an MMO, MMOs are notorious for good music, and it's you put it in that category, it kind of drops on the list a lot, because then you're comparing it to games like Final Fantasy, which is just expertly known for its quality,
You
and
can't compete.
you can't.
You can't.
And
It always
you
comes
know,
back to
it
Final.
does, but it has to because Final Fantasy is just like it's it's the top. It's the peak that every game should aspire to. Final Fantasy always, well, let me rephrase, pre 14, Final Fantasy has always had great stories. They've always had intricate worlds, extravagant designs, top of the line graphics, beautiful music, beautiful scores. It it's just they excel at game making. Square Enix has always excelled at game making. And
So
it's sad
can
that they
we
don't make more.
so can we agree that, Destiny probably like, this not Destiny. Final Fantasy is probably one of the founder games in history. Like it was the one of the paving games to make it where we're at now. Would
And
you
it's
agree with
it's
that?
oh yeah. I mean, especially if you look at graphics. Final Fantasy X was one of the first games to have true 3D graphics. Like true 3D high detail graphics. Um, it excels. You looked at games like um Dragon Quest that came after, and it wasn't quite on that par. Um, Metal Gear Solid, those games that came after Final Fantasy, they were good, but they weren't at that level. But at the same time, Final Fantasy, other than 14, has never been locked behind any paywalls. You buy the game, that's it. You get everything else for free. And their games have never been super expensive. Even their newest games, they don't mark them up to $89, $99. They're still 40, $50 when they come out. And they just, in my opinion, I weigh them as the top of the line company. Um, they've been true to their fans. They've always stuck to their game. Like what I said, COD needed to do, Final Fantasy's always done. They've stayed in their lane and they've stuck with it, and they've never lost fan base over it. So we'll get off of that because I can talk about Final Fantasy. We still have never had a Final Fantasy episode, which is insane to me.
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a Final Fantasy episode at some point, and it's just gonna be Cowboy.
We've
Me
had
and
I'll
Cor
enough.
was just
I'll
talking.
I'll be here technically. I'll throw the bots in and control the bots for him, but I'll just let Cowboy talk.
We have done enough. I've talked about Final Fantasy enough in this show to put a whole episode together.
Probably.
Probably. No
So,
joke.
Mr. HD Tech, would you recommend this game? And if so, what style of gamers would you recommend it to?
Definitely recommend it. I mean, like I said, even though the game's in low state right now, overall, I guess it's going to bounce back. And the game overall is just a good foundry base, and it gets that itch that everyone, some people crave. What style of gamer? This is where it gets interesting. I feel like it's if you want just well, I feel like even just like if you want to just be a shooter, like I'd feel like I play COD and Destiny. I feel like even a PvP side of this, if you want to play a good shooter game, I feel like the gunplay just feels so good in Destiny. I mean, I don't want to say if you like shooters, play Destiny, because even like the gunplay, just if you don't play the story at all and you just PvP, the fluidity, how you move, the TTK weapons, like, everything just feels, I think, better than other games. So definitely, if you're into shooters, it's your go-to. If you like shooters plus story and other stuff to go with it, it's definitely your calling too. If you like looter shooter, if you like grindy stuff, if you like to be that kind of looter shooter, grindy kind of style, it's going to get the itch for you to grind more stuff. I mean, there's so many. It's not one type of gamer it can apply to. 'Cause even in my community, there's some guys who log on and do only PvP. No story. They come back just for the gunplay aspect. Some people
Mhm.
play just for the campaign and PvE story side play only. So I mean, there's not one type of gamer. There's probably I can name 2 or 3 categories of gamers that this would click niche applies to.
I agree. I agree heavily. I played it, just to see, because that's what a lot of what I've been doing in my streams lately, or just since I've started, honestly, is playing games to kind of judge them. And I was on Throne and Liberty for a little while, and it just couldn't grab me. That was the thing. Throne and Liberty could not grab me. It's entertaining for a little bit, and then it's
Yeah,
repetitive and s- it's stereotypical, and it's just it's
I feel that.
it's good, but I feel like I've played it 100 times.
Yeah,
I tried
I
it myself and I got like 2 hours in it and I just had dropped it. I just couldn't. I
But
lost interest.
yeah, and Destiny, I feel like I enjoyed it. And as long as I have people to play with and someone's like, hey, come hop on Destiny, dude, I'll hop on. I enjoyed it that much that, there was so much I could do. Now, I I'm gonna go back on that tangent. I don't like that Destiny locks so much behind paywalls. That's their choice. You know, I get it. But if you're gonna do that, call it a free trial. Don't call it a full game because it's not a full game. It's not a free game. It's a free trial. It's a demo. And
Cowboy,
I
you haven't really been a part of like the Destiny community until recently, right? Like,
yeah, I
or
mean, I'm talking about from now's perspective.
yeah. Well, so I'm
Correct.
just
As a new light, he's going from a new light. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. This is from an
Because we're talking about if someone was to go play it right now.
right. So the only reason I wanted to clarify because I wanted to be sure of my next statement before I made it and was wrong. Um, so for the last probably 3 or 4 years in Destiny's life cycle, that has been a consistent argument across the entire community
Mm-hmm.
about like when they started going to this pay to play model essentially
Yep.
when they started doing 3 DLCs a year for the main drop that you had to pay for. They started doing all the battle passes that you had to pay for, and they started doing, and they've always had their Bright Dust shop that you can buy things, and their platinum,
Yeah.
like
Eververse.
Eververse, their premium stuff, right? They've always had that, but when they started locking DLCs behind paywalls, and they started locking battle passes behind paywalls, and they started adding all this extra paywall stuff, it became a very divisive point across the
Yeah.
entire community. And, you know, one of those things that you always say, Cowboy, if you don't like it, don't pay for it.
Exactly, and that's exactly how it was. And I told HD this. I told Raz the same thing. They're like, "Well, it's on sale. You can buy all this." I'm like, I shouldn't have to. You advertise it as a free game, and then you get in there and you lock it behind a paywall. It kind of turns me off a little bit. And if it was like you said, like the content was out there and you could buy skins or you could buy guns, you could feel like you had more of a choice to pay for it. I feel like the pay to play aspect kind of, you do have a choice to buy it, but if you want to play it, you're kind of forced to buy it. And to me, if you're going to do that, just make everybody pay for the game one time and be done with it.
So this is a thought experiment I've done before with multiple people. I don't think I've done it with either of you here. In Destiny, or the world that they've created, if, say, the base game was free to play, so the new light stuff to get you into the game was free to play, and then you could spend $60 to get all of the DLC, and each battle pass cost you $10. But you had within the battle pass, you could earn the resources to buy it with those resources and never have to pay for it again. Would that be a better model in your mind?
I'll let you go first, Cowboy. Go ahead.
No, honestly, no. If the story has to be bought separately, like if you can get a preview of the story, it like I said, it feels like a turnoff. Honestly, if this game was $89 right now and then all the DLCs were free, I would say pay for it. But the fact that even though it's 40 something dollars for all the DLCs, it's a turnoff. Even though it's cheaper, it's a turnoff because you get teased with the story and then hey, if you want to keep playing, buy this. That that kind of marketing bothers me to the
So
point that it makes me not want to do it.
I may have misspoke. I
No,
meant
no,
like,
I get what you're saying. I'm gonna get to that too. So, you know, when that occurs, even if there's a way to earn it, it still exists, and I think I would still feel turned off to it. Even if I did the battle pass and I could earn the campaigns or earn the not the campaigns, the DLCs or buy them that way, I would still feel turned off to it because the original concept exists.
yeah. So I definitely misspoke because so I meant
Okay.
you pay like $40 for all of the current and future DLC,
Hmm.
and then you pay the $10 for the first battle pass, and within that battle pass, you can earn the platinum material to be able to buy the next one
So the
if you
COD
complete it.
structure.
Yeah, essentially.
So,
I don't know
so
because I
how
don't
do
like the
y'all
COD
feel?
structure either.
Go on.
Okay.
What about a subscription model, almost like World of Warcraft, where everything but the newest one is included in the subscription? Or you
I
pay
would be
extra price.
okay. I would be okay with the subscription model if it was subscription, but even the newest stuff you can still have access to. Because
Mhm.
with the World of Warcraft model, you still have to buy the newest thing
Yeah,
even if you have the subscription. So it's like I've
correct.
already paid. So say it's a monthly, you do the monthly subscription for, I think it's like $15 right now.
Let's just for realistic purposes. I think people like $5 or $8 people be like $5 or $8.
Okay. So $8. I'm gonna pull out my calculator real quick. I want to be as accurate as I possibly can be right now.
It's $96 a year if that's what you're going after.
So that we're kind of going into the RuneScape model.
I never played RuneScape since like
So
back in the day, so I don't know what they do anymore. I have no idea. Back when I played RuneScape, it was completely free back in the day.
RuneScape it's still completely free, but they added new skills that you have to be a member to use.
Hmm.
And they added more to the map that you have to be a member to go to.
That
Um
falls more into pay to win, in my opinion.
right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's kind of the other model. So you can I wouldn't call it pay to win cuz there's nothing you can't do on the game that would limit you. Um
Also,
but
my thought was, like you said, they have skills that you have to be a member to use. If it's a
Hmm.
skill, to me, that means pay to win. Because
yeah,
whether the skill is pertinent or not, you now have a different bonus that somebody else will not be able
I
to get
I
because
can
they didn't pay
I
for it.
can agree to that.
Yeah.
I can agree to that.
Because at that point, and this is just thought craft, in my opinion. But that's just at that point, if it's a different skill, it doesn't have to be make or break. Like, it can be effectively worse on the surface level of this other skill that's free to everybody, and it does roughly the same thing. But if at that point it's a skill gap, right? You have to, if your skill is high enough, you can turn the skill that is probably looked down on and turn it into something crazy. HD, good example, which I know you've experienced this a lot. When Behemoth first came out, which is the what's the
Fine
name?
stasis.
Stasis. Titan Stasis class. Nobody wanted to play it except for the top streamers and competitive people who played the game because they
It,
had that high enough skill gap that they found the ways to make it really good, and it was not like easy to get into. It was definitely a skill-based subclass.
Yeah. You had to have the skill cap to be able to fully utilize it. Yeah, like in the big thing, you had to time your slides right, and when you put your grenade, you put your glaciers out. And that's why I didn't play Behemoth. I thought until Prismatic came out, I never used Stasis Titan until the new expansion came out and they brought Prismatic out. I avoided with a passion anything Stasis and Titan involved because I used to not be like I don't think I'm still that good to use a full Stasis Titan really to his utmost ability, like some people can. But yeah, that is, and that's almost pay to win too. Because when that first came out, if you didn't have stasis and PvP, you're gonna lose. You had to have that in order to be competitive. Like there was no, I won't have it. You're not gonna win if you didn't have it. It was so broke. I don't know if you played that year or not,
I
but
did.
it was so broken when it first came out. Like Hunter with their something squirrel, winter quarrel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was the killer of Crucible
Dude,
completely.
you could literally when that subclass came out was still when your abilities recharged quickly in the
Hmm.
Crucible, and you could literally knife, dodge, grenade, freeze an entire team, unload your one weapon on them, they all explode and die next to each other.
Or
Then you
Shadow
can
Dive.
or shatter dive and they all explode and die next to each other. Then you can run to their spawn, throw your super and walk away. And you got 12 kills.
That was a very hard time for balancing. It was definitely when that first released, it was not balanced anywhere close where it needed to be.
Mm-mm. But returning to the pay model theory, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So with the WoW subscription plus buying the new one, assuming they release one major content drop a year, right?
I would assume that would probably stay constant, one a year.
Yeah.
I would
So
assume that's a constant.
so if that pay gap is $30, you are spending $126 a year to play this one game.
Now, mind you, I do believe if they did that model, they would put more content than they are right now. For the
Possibly.
content where it's currently at, I don't think it's worth it. But if they made more content to make it worth it, it'd be like if you said the game, if they were to change that motto this minute in the game, I don't think it'd be worth it right now.
Yeah.
They have to
So
rework it to make it worth it. But it would eliminate the idea that you had to buy every past DLC, or they just unlock it after a year. It's unlocked to everyone. Like
yeah.
Cowboy said, just unlock the dang thing.
So
I
I don't know.
think. But now, how many people are going to annoy? You got some people say, "Well, I spent $500 over 10 years on this stuff," or "I spent $500 or $1,000 over 10 years buying this stuff. Why he get it for free?" Someone's going to complain and bicker like that too.
Sure. And you're always gonna have both sides of the coin, right? You're always gonna have the people who say, this is better, but what about me? So forth, so
Mm-hmm.
on. Personally, I have, like I said, I spent 8 years playing the game. I bought it on 2 consoles all the way from uh, Destiny 1 through Witch Queen, and then I ended up playing on PC and I bought it again all the way through Witch Queen, and I've bought every DLC since Witch Queen up to Lightfall. I've probably dropped 2 to 5 grand in that game during its lifespan.
But how much
However,
entertainment did you get out of it?
a
A
lot.
lot.
I got 8
Yeah.
years worth of entertainment. Now, if they came out with a model that was the game is free to play up until the first DLC, and then you can buy basically a DLC pass, right? A one-time purchase DLC pass that unlocks all DLC current and future for $60, regular game
Yep.
price. And then I would do that. And then beyond that, with the battle passes, you pay $10. Within that battle pass, you can earn enough of that material to buy it again without actually spending money. You've spent $70, and if you play it consistently, you're never out any more money than that. Now,
Yeah.
the way I play games, and I'm sure the way Cowboy kind of plays games too, I would not finish that battle pass. Most 9 times out of 10, right?
Yeah.
So I would end up having to pay that $10 over and over again. But that also, I think, plays into the company being able to pay for more things, right? That plays into them banking on people because you're going to have the 2 to 5,000 people who will complete the battle pass every single season and they'll play it consistently all the time, never have to buy anything ever again. But then you have people like me and Cowboy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like you as well, who will play the game, get through the story, play some PvP, get 75% of the way through the battle pass, not finish it, and have to go pay that $10.
Yeah, and I call it the insurance marketing.
That is a good way to put it. I like that.
You pay for insurance, and they make money on the hopes that you don't need it.
Yeah.
And so,
No,
I just kind of coined that term, the insurance marketing. And it's a very good business strategy. And I don't think it's underhanded because it's kind of on you for not finishing it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good marketing strategy for games. And, I like it, but I'm bad about that too. I never finish battle passes. I think I've only finished like 2 or 3.
Yeah, speaking of, I paid for the Marvel Rivals one. I should probably do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I just thought about it while you were talking about it. I'm like, shit. Well,
besides Destiny, I have the same issue on everything else. I don't ever finish battle passes ever. I'll be like, I'll play for a few days and then I drop it, never finish anything I paid for. That's why I don't buy battle passes for anything else.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, let's move on to our news and updates for today.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Let's go.
Not because I have the show notes, but because I can feel Cowboy.
How World Daybreak has launched, and GLDB, who? That thing is a big ass map,
dude. It looks big from what I've seen. I ain't played it myself. I wanted to hop on, but I ain't done it yet. But it looks massive from what I've seen.
So for your reference, HD, it took me an hour.
It took me a while to circle the map.
Yeah, it took me It took me an hour to go around the perimeter. And that's like, and yes, I stopped and I caught some pals and I picked up, lift monk effigies and grabbed fast travel points, but it still took me an entire hour to go just around.
If you're on a swimming pal, it'll take you that long to circle the whole island.
That's nuts. For free too. Like you don't pay for this, right? Everyone gets it. It's free.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I love this model. I love this way of doing things. I
can't argue with you.
I mean, it works. It's worked for Fortnite for so long. I mean, Fortnite makes $4 to $7 billion a year off of skins and battle passes alone. COD makes half of that. Let me put that out there for you COD people. COD makes half of that. And they charge for everything.
I agree.
Get your shit together.
Model is one. Like no one can argue it. That model of paying for cosmetics but a free game, and you're seeing it with like new game like Marvel Rivals that way. You're seeing it becoming more of a normal thing, which I'm cool with because if I want to try it out, I can just try it out and play. Like you watched me. I played Marvel Rivals one night. Cowboy, you watched me. I was able to just hop on, play for a little bit, and enjoy it. And they're not locked into anything. It works.
You don't feel pressured. You don't feel like, oh, I just wasted my money buying this game. You don't have that. And it works. So, games, I'm telling you right now, any game developers, if you listen to us, pay attention. This is how you do it. Not developers. Y'all don't handle that. I mean the game makers, sorry. Stop doing the pay to win bullshit. It doesn't work. No one wants it. Yep. We don't like it. Cosmetics, battle passes.
Speaking of cosmetics and battle passes, with our other news and update, Marvel Rivals does have their winter skins available right now.
Ooh.
Yes. They look good.
One in particular that I think is interesting is the Venom skin. It just changes Venom's black to blue.
I know it.
That's cool though.
I'm still working on the Jeff one. I still haven't got it.
That game mode annoyed me.
But I love that they made that free.
Yeah.
They said, hey, we got this awesome Jeff skin, and we're going to give it to you. All you have to do is play our game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it.
You can't argue with that, no.
Hey, you want this other skin? Go watch your favorite Twitch streamer play it for 4 hours.
I don't know if you bought it, if you're gonna bring this up or not. If I'm gonna say this before you are, I apologize. But there's that Iron Man code out too, I believe. You can get a free skin for Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. They have the Magneto skin you get from watching Twitch streamers. They have the Iron Man code. PlayStation gets the Spider-Man skin.
What
And then there
Iron
was
Man
one
code
more.
are we talking about? Because I need it.
I can send it to you.
Awesome.
Okay, you have it. Okay, I had it somewhere. If I still have it or not, but if you have it, then beautiful.
I mean, you can also just Google free Iron Man skin code.
Oh,
It's everyone on the internet. It's everywhere.
It's not a secret.
I didn't think about
Yeah.
that. That's a yeah. The
It's-
internet.
No one's hiding it from you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I feel gatekept.
It's not the damn Marvel Secret Invasions trailer when it came out and you had to figure out the code to watch the trailer.
Well,
God,
last-
that was the most annoying thing in the world to me. It still makes me mad and it's been out for over a year.
last news and update. Helldivers 2. They had released some armors for free as a gift, like as a Christmas gift to their players.
And it was bugged.
It was bugged. Not everybody was able to get it. People would try, like they would accept it, and then it wouldn't actually give them the skins, or I guess the armors, which I think is kind of the same thing in Helldivers. I'm not entirely sure how that works because I've never played it.
Yeah,
But
it's armors. So one thing I do like about Helldivers, they give out a lot of stuff. Like they give their players so much stuff. And 90% of the time it's bugged. But
Yeah.
they are so quick to fix it.
yes,
They are so quick to fix it.
and that is part of what they have announced. Like their team is currently on break for the holidays. They are going to take a look at that and fix it as soon as they can come back. So for anybody who listened to us that is concerned, or if you weren't able to get those armors and you are concerned about it, they do know it's a problem. They have seen it, and they are going to get to it as soon as they come back from letting them spend time with their families, which we all get to do. So
Enjoy it.
yeah, patience.
Now, do we have a question for the show?
We have plenty. We have not
Let's
we have
pick
not
one.
done any for a while because we've been running our episodes really long.
We have been.
But it's a great discussion, though. Let's be honest. You gotta love it.
Oh yeah.
This
That's
is
the
actually a
nitty-gritty
short
of it.
episode compared to what we normally do.
Yeah, we've been hitting like 2.5 hours.
3 hours. We hit 3.5 with FUD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been hitting
If it's
consistent.
earlier in the day, that'd be great. But
That's kind of what it's on. It's 10:30 at night for us. So we're like, yeah, we'll get through this one.
for perception, it's almost midnight for me, and I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm fine with not doing a 3 hour one.
Oof.
What's
thank
our
you for being
question
here.
of the day?
Let's see.
Our question for the show.
We've got
Hey, show.
5. Let's see.
You don't pin your questions? Ah, slackers.
I
No,
know
they're pinned.
they're pinned, but we
Nothing's
haven't
pinned.
done
read them.
questions in a while.
Yeah, I just haven't read them.
Oh.
I'm not
It
going to
shows-
ask HD's question just because he's
Yeah,
here.
he's here.
And I want to ask him when he's not here because I don't want to give a wrong answer and be called out immediately.
Oh, hold on. I'm on question of the day. That's why.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
on the
yeah.
wrong one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
questions for hosts is the correct channel.
Yeah, I got it now. Yeah.
Let's do a pee pipe. Then we'll have an even one question per person. Question for the show. Bang, bang, bang. If you had a chance to go back in time for 30 minutes, where are you going? I think that means like if you had 30 minutes in whatever time you went
Yeah.
to. Not like you're back traveling for 30 minutes. Because if we back traveled for 30 minutes, we would be sitting right here at this podcast and we wouldn't be going anywhere.
So I'm gonna avoid one answer. But I would go back, honestly, to when the Declaration of Independence was being written and tell them to change some shit. Be like, hey guys, can y'all put in there that the government can never tax us more than 2%? Please? Like, Jesus Christ. I'm tired of paying 30% a month every year.
I don't know if you've seen the number recently, but effectively right now, anybody who makes, I think it's under $100,000 a year, pays about 37% of their income in taxes.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
And that's so that
When
includes
I
sales
dive,
tax and all that stuff.
When I dive, I pay almost $1,000. Actually, I pay over $1,000 a week in taxes when I'm diving. That's
Yeah.
more than a lot of people make in a week, and that's what I pay in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
If I dive a full year, I pay over 50 grand in taxes.
that's nuts. That is completely astronomically nuts.
Yeah.
And then
What
they
about
always
you?
ask me for more.
Yeah, because of course.
Why not? That's what they do.
HD, what about you? If you could go back in time for 30 minutes, where are you going? What you doing?
I'll let you answer first while I'm thinking about that real quick, if you don't mind. Give me
Okay. I
give
have
me
an answer.
some.
I would go back to 18-year-old me working in a kitchen, and I would say, "Hey, you need to put money aside in some kind of growth savings account because if I had that now, yes, it would be hard. It's everything is so expensive now. But if I had done that then and I had continued to do that to now, I would have enough money to buy a home. Even though the market is crappy right now, I would still have enough money to buy a home. I could own my own house. I could put my family in a house that I own, not have to pay rent to some guy who just has an extra property and doesn't actually understand how you're supposed to charge rent."
Yeah.
That's true. Got it. So if I had to give an answer, it's a hard one. I'd probably go back to me back in like high school, younger self, and
Slap him.
huh?
And slap him.
Slap him and say you're not a know-it-all. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to listen to the old man. Do what you need to do, pretty much, because when every kid's young, you think you know everything, and I'm no innocent. I thought I knew everything when I was 17, 18 years old, and as you get older, you're a dummy back then. Stay back, listen, pay attention more, and call. I don't want to say I regret anything I did because I'm not a bad part of my life. I got a decent, pretty good career. I work 312s only. I get to my family every day. I can't complain my life too much. I'm not gonna say I want to change my life, but maybe if I would have had a reality check for 30 minutes, someone would sit down with me and put me in a reality check, I have a lot less headaches along the way getting there.
Yeah. I feel that the headaches are not fun.
Nope, I want a life for me. I don't change the end game I got to because I'm happy where I'm at, but there have been a lot less gray hairs I accomplished along the way getting here.
Mhm.
And old baldness me where you look at my head at.
Do you have the gamer dip?
The what?
The gamer dip. So, for whenever
What?
you would wear so whenever somebody is a gamer and they stream and they do all this stuff, I don't think you've had, like, headphones for a long time, but if you wear your headphones for, you know, 6 hours a day, yeah, like that, you eventually get a dip in the middle of your head from where they rest and just press down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep my hair so short. Usually, it's not really a thing.
It's
But
it's
no,
not
I've
it's not
never.
your hair, it's in your
Yeah,
skin.
no, it's in your
Oh,
skin.
no,
It actually
definitely not.
is
Then no,
dipping your
definitely,
soul.
definitely not. Then,
That's
but
why I extend
honestly,
my headphones all the way out and it never touches the top of my head.
see, earbuds like me and Ranger are doing. Yep.
Yeah.
Except for I'm sure your headphones are much better quality than our earbuds are.
Probably.
My headphones aren't the quality?
Are much
No,
better
your
quality.
headphones are much,
Oh,
much
I
better
thought you
quality than our
said
headphones.
I would freaking hope they were for $300.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got if your headphones were not as good as my $3 head
We'd have a
earbuds,
problem.
you'd have a big problem.
Oh, these are pretty good price actually, surprisingly. But like I said, they're that open ear technology they claim, so that's
Yeah.
why they charge so much for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, if anyone here is a streamer and or content, or you wear headphones a lot during the daytime, oh my god, open ear earbuds, open ear earbuds, all lifesaver. I feel like, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had some of the bone conductive ones for a while, and I just couldn't
Get
warrant
used to them.
the price. No, I loved them. I loved them. I
Oh,
used them for years, but when they broke and I couldn't use them anymore, I couldn't warrant the price to buy a new pair.
yeah. Well,
They claim that bone conductors you don't get as much quality through them. That's the issue. They claim some of the due to your bone is over some vibration, you lose some quality
Yeah.
via the bone transfer of it.
Yeah, you do, but it's also the ability to
but
hear.
I can't understand that either because that's exactly what hearing is. So,
But here in it, you're just putting vibration through air, which I'm assuming air does not absorb as much energy as a bone does per se.
Well, it's the
I guess
vibration
I
of
don't
the
have
bone in
numbers,
your
but
ear canal.
correct. Yeah. When it hits your
So,
actual ear
yeah.
canal.
So the way I understand it, the bone conductive ones,
It
you
still
don't
vibrates
get.
the same bone.
Yeah, it still vibrates the same bone, but the reason you lose quality is because it doesn't vibrate the eardrums as well as it does that
Yeah.
bone. So you're
Okay.
missing out
Okay.
You're missing out a part of that thing that makes it all work together.
Got it.
Anyways, Cowboy,
Yep.
you were
Ranger,
trying to say
who
something.
who is our astronaut of the week this week?
Oh, that's easy. That is chance of 1-344. They're
Woo!
not an active poster, but we're trying to make sure that everybody feels included. And if you listen to our show, we thank you so much. And we want everybody to have their moment to change our names for the better or worse.
And they do follow us on Spotify.
They do.
So, yeah. Now, for our streamer of the week, I have an absolutely wonderful person. I only met them 2 days ago. And, I joined her stream. We got to talking. We hung out for hours. I think we ended up staying up till like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, something like that. And we hung out again last night. We played Apex together. We hung out till like 3, 4 in the morning. And they're she's just a delight to watch. Like right now she's streaming. I posted the link in the general chat today or just now. HG Tech, you should definitely go give her a follow. She's so energetic, so vibrant, and it's just a joy to watch her stream. And that is Miss Cheeky Minx 3. I was gonna say HTTP, but I don't need to say that. Twitch.tv / Mr. Ranger / CheekyMinx 3, the number 3. Definitely go give her a follow. I just absolutely enjoy her. So she is our
When
streamer
we
of the
get
week.
off here, I'll do that. When we get off here, definitely.
She thought I was going to come on here and say mean things about her, but I couldn't because there's nothing mean to say about her. She is just a delight.
Yeah, I went and followed when you put the post up.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching.
You multitasking over there. Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
He does it every time.
I have to. This is like what you were talking about earlier in the beginning of the show. That this is what I do behind the scenes. I am meeting all these people. That's how I met Hurdle. That's how I met Just Glad to Be Here. I met all these people. That's how I met Raz. I just showed up on his stream one day and just started talking to him, and we started hanging out. And he's been a great supporter of the podcast and of my stuff. And he's just a delight to be around. Same with HD Tech. Just jumped in his stream, started talking to him more, and we've hung out quite a bit since then. And he's okay to be around.
That's all right. I can deal with that. We're good.
He's an okay guy. We kind of like him.
So if you
And
guys ever,
on the show.
for a very brief explanation, if you guys ever wonder what Cowboy does on the show, he does the tech background and he's the social butterfly for the podcast.
Yeah, the tech guy, the designer, the social butterfly, the everything.
And
I
we
love it
love him
though.
for it.
I love meeting people. So if you ever just want to talk, come talk to me, dude. I will talk to you like anybody. Hit me up and be like, "Hey, how are you? What's up?" I will talk to you for hours.
He's not joking.
I'm not. I will love it. I mean, I've been in her stream for almost 5 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah. He's dedicated.
I am.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good. That's awesome.
So come talk to me. Hang out with me. If you got a stream, if you're a streamer and I haven't seen it, tell me. I will come follow you. I will come talk to you. I will hype your chat up for you.
He does.
Dude, it was so funny. So right now he can be a little bit more involved in the chats and things, but when he's doing school, he does his schoolwork. And I don't know if you've talked about it on the show before, if this was just in other chats, but Cowboy cannot only do one thing.
I can't. I have to
Can't.
do multiple things.
So whenever he's doing his schoolwork, what helps him focus on his schoolwork is he will have a stream up on his computer while he's doing his schoolwork, and he will be listening and watching the stream while doing his schoolwork.
I can say firsthand, he's definitely came to my stream, told me that before too. So I've firsthand seen this.
Yeah, I can't. Like, if I just try to focus on my schoolwork, I can't do it. It's part of my ADHD. But as long as I'm doing more than one thing at a time, I'm fine. And y'all have seen my ADHD. You know, I have forgot I was on the show in the middle of the show. I got distracted playing Stardew Valley when we were doing the Stardew Valley episode, and y'all were talking to me, and I'm just sitting there playing the game.
I was listening to a podcast. Now I'm on it.
I'm on it. What the heck?
One question that I just, before we move on to the
Mhm.
social plugs and closing out and all that stuff, I have one question for HD that I meant to ask about the topic and I forgot.
Okay.
Destiny Rising. I know you got to play it. Is that?
Yes.
I know that's closed now. At the open alpha, I think it was closed now. What are your thoughts as far as, is it good enough to go somewhere? And do you think they'll actually finish it?
Yes, I thought it was awesome. I give it, like, if we're at a 10 scale, like a 9.8 probably. Like, it was, for an alpha, I only had like 1-2 glitches ever, and it was dumb stuff. It was a beautifully well played out game. Definitely felt the Destiny nostalgia from it. It was really fun. And I foresee this. Actually, I think it's nominated for Mobile Game of the Year. I think actually what it's got nominated for, but it's going to go somewhere. It's going to be great. And I mean, it's probably a part of regular Destiny for the mobile world. I mean, it was awesome. Now, I did not see the pay to win aspect because the market always would have shut off. I mean, obviously, we know there's going to be some paying to get ahead. It's a free mobile game, so that's the nature of it. From what I've seen, what you're paying for is to get ahead. Like, you don't have to farm X material so much if you pay. I don't think you're blocked per se if you don't want to pay. From what I've seen during alpha, so I think it's not going to go on.
I was going to say, so it's more of a potentially pay to win model, not a pay to play model.
I say pay to convenience.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, it's not like you can't you just get more upgrades faster, but it's not you can't if you don't pay.
So, like, if you, being the professional streamer that you are, start mainstaying this game and you play it, and you can quit your job and you play it for 8 hours a day, and I can only play like an hour at a time, I can keep up with you based on the model they're going to go with.
Not unless you pay out because of the time difference of farm. He can farm obviously way more upgrade materials and upgrade further than you with the time he has in there.
Okay.
So time's the biggest thing. I mean, everything's upgradable in the game. So you playing for, let's say, an hour a day versus me playing 8 hours a day, I will get ahead just due to I can farm more materials more than you can.
Right, but if I have the financial income to just pay for those materials, is what I'm saying, I can keep up.
Yes, correct. You can keep up if you want to pay to skip the time of farming it.
Okay. That's interesting.
So I don't really call it. I don't think it's pay to win per se. Like, everyone can get the same stuff at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's just how much you want to work for it. But the game was great. It was awesome. I mean, it's going to go somewhere definitely. I'm keeping my eye open for the beta.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, Cowboy. It was just a thing I forgot because it's later than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. Well, Mr. HD Tech, tell the audience below where they can find you.
Well, I am in all the Alpha Discords. I am in your Discord, Cowboy Dizzy. I am in Astronaut Arcade Discord. And I have my own personal Discord, HG Tech Garage Zone, where I keep all my content, all my community people over there. I am on Twitch as HG Technical. I do TikTok as HG.technical. I do YouTube Shorts also. And I don't remember the link for that, but I don't say it very often. But you can find me on the Discords, Twitch, and TikTok are my best ways to get a hold of me if you want to find me.
There you go. Cowboy, Where are all of your
So-
spaces, and where can all the people find you?
You can find me in the Astronaut Arcade Podcast Discord server. Boop, boop, boop. You can also find me in Dizzy Gaming, where I post my stream stuff, and we are building a gaming community and also hosting the tournament coming up January 18th, 2025. You can find me in Purgatory Lost, my D&D server. You can find me in Not Your Average Health Club, my weight loss Discord server, where I give out free weight loss tips and meal plans. You can find me in Power World Podcast, Blueberry Lounge, Squirrely Squad, Hurdle 3K server, and everywhere else that people are, because I will find a way to get there.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's mildly hilarious that you're like the only guy allowed in like 2 or 3 different all-girl Discords.
Yeah, I'm into all girl Discords.
It
It's
does
awesome.
tickle my funny bone.
It's just because I'm cowboy. I'm that awesome. You know, they love me. I don't know what to say. I'm just beloved. It's so much weight. You know, my back hurts. You know, from carrying the weight of this awesomeness every day, and it's exhausting. Hold on, let me pop my neck. All right, Ranger.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if you can do it in one breath this time. Where can we find you?
You guys can find me right here in the Astronaut Arcade Podcast, the Astronaut Arcade Podcast Discord. You can also find me in the Blueberry Lounge Discord and on a smattering of episodes in there. You can find me in the Power World Podcast Discord and in the Power World Podcast as a co-host. You can find me in HD Text Garage Zone. You can find me in Elmer Fudd's Discord. You can find me in the Space Mafia and on an episode of the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast that they host. And you can also find me in Dizzy Lost Gaming and in the other Discords for Dizzy as well. And you can find me on Twitch. Never almost.
Almost had it.
No, I didn't breathe.
That was good. That was good
Good.
though.
He's trying to work on the cowboy no breathing thing because I, know how to breathe and kind of hide it that I'm breathing.
Well, I
So-
can do that, but I realized I was cheating, so I decided to try and actually do it in one breath this time. And
Yeah,
I
it's not easy.
almost got there, but I couldn't list all of the other Discords that
Yeah,
you have.
he started mixing up the names. Dizzy Purgatory Lost Dizzy Purgatory.
Yep, the Lost Dizzy
Listen,
Purgatory
it's
server.
hard. It's
So-
hard, man. There's a lot to say.
I forgot to mention, if you ever do want to listen to Cowboy and Ranger sing, you can find us on Blueberry Lounge doing so.
And potentially here soon, going
No.
head to head in a competition
You actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do it, Ranger. You versus
on the
me.
BBL.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this.
1v1 me, bro.
1v1 me, bro. I will pull out the guitar.
That's cheating. Can't play guitar.
Is it really cheating though?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pull out the piano.
I can't play that either. And if I play
I'll
the
pull
one,
out the
if I-
saxophone.
if I play the one, okay, that's fair. Because if I play the one instrument I can play, I can't sing. Because the only instrument I can actually play is the trumpet.
So, yeah, that's it for us today, guys. Thank you for listening. We love you so much. Thank you all for coming in. We do have another special guest that's going to be here next week, and we're so excited for it. But we will let you know about that when we get there. So, thank you for listening to the Astronaut Arcade Podcast, where we take one small step for man and one giant leap for gamerkind. And Pluto
Pluto
is a planet.
Is most
Yes,
definitely.
it is.